Welcome everybody to another edition of Tech Talk. I'm excited to be here today with one of my favorite humans, all the way from Athens, Greece. Right now, we've got Caitlin Doemner with Ecstatic Way. Uh, what I love about Caitlin is, and actually, this is such a really cool slogan she's got, is building a world you love, doing work you love with people you love.
Mhm.
So that's honestly such a great way to sum up the awesomeness that is Caitlin because it's hard for me to articulate working with her. Just definitely
Mm.
um, going from pushing yourself to the max in the heart, like going, and finding ways to achieve your goals with also, enjoying the process.
Right? What is the point of working this hard if we are not loving the work that we're doing?
So, Caitlin, I know you've got your 10K and 30-day challenge coming up, right? That starts up
Mhm.
in just about 2 weeks.
Yep.
So, tell me a little bit. So, for our audience, what is that? So, we know obviously the goal is to reach a 10K in 30 days. So,
Yep.
tell me a little bit more about that. What is involved with this challenge or accelerator?
Absolutely. Yeah. So we started our branding with 10K in 30 days as a challenge, and nobody really bought into the idea. And so now we call it a 10K revenue accelerator. And we realized that for some people, it's easy for them to get 10K. And the last one, we had a gal who did 22,000 euros in 30 days. So there's no limit on how much money you can make. But what we try to do is give you just simple strategies and a lot of accountability. So we are talking daily accountability, coaching, and hand holding to make sure that you're actually doing the things that you need to do in order to spread your message out there in a bigger way. So we tend to work specifically with coaches, consultants, healers, people who are doing transformational work and service based programs and saying, how do I get out in the world in a bigger way? And so we do the 10K revenue accelerator is you have lifetime access to the systems, the strategies, the scripts, all of that core curriculum you get to keep forever. But twice a year in September and March, we do our 30-day sprints where we are there on the phone with you every single day, holding your hand and making sure that you are taking big and decisive action. And it's amazing how quickly people can start getting themselves back into gear. And we have people who, like you, Colleen, who this isn't their first 10K. It's not even their 100th
Yeah.
10K. But they just want to get back into the swing of things. There's been a summer slump. They want to set their fall on fire. And they're like, you know what? This is exactly what I need to just get my
Was
bum
just
back
picking
in
up
business
on
development
that,
mode.
and I was like, "That's actually sounds like something that even I would wanna do, because you
Mhm.
do as you grow your business, there are ebbs and flows. There's
Yeah.
where sales is the primary goal, and times when sales is not the primary goal. Like, we were just
Right.
on I don't remember what call it was, but I was like, "You know what? No, sales is not our strength over at Nerdly.
Mhm.
Absolutely not." We are all about delivery. So, yeah, I sounds like that's a program not even just for your first 10K, but anyone who is looking to have an injection of revenue in their business.
Mhm.
This sounds like
Mhm.
a great opportunity for that hand holding the accountability to really, are you actually putting your offer out there and growing
Yeah.
your warm market? Are you growing your audience? And,
Right.
like, are you using all the strategies that
Mhm.
you should be doing? It's and half of it is, like,
Yeah.
it's not like things that they don't know. It's just,
Mhm.
are you actually doing the thing?
Yes. And the thing is, like, for people like you and me, doing direct outreach marketing and sales is exhausting. We call it the first of the 4 gears of marketing because it is powerful, but it is slow, right? You need to get into
Mhm.
first gear to get out of the driveway, but this is not going to be where you're going to be when you're on the freeway. So once we don't want to do this year round. We don't want this to be your primary source of leads and sales, but twice a year be willing to like, okay, I'm going to do the hard work. I'm going to get back in the trenches with my team. I'm going to send out connection requests and start conversations and activate my warm network and get the people who have been following me for the rest of the year and have been waiting for an invitation to come and work with me. I'm going to give them that chance to come into and come and play in my sandbox with me in a much more hands-on direct way. And then the other 10 months of the year, we focus on the more efficient marketing systems. How are you doing webinars or master classes? How are you getting on podcasts or hosting your own? How are you doing like organic outreach, Facebook groups? Like how do you get people to follow you all year round? And then twice a year, you can focus intensely on the direct sales aspect while you're getting your systems built the rest of the year, if that makes sense.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And that's the thing. Like it's so easy to, especially as you grow, to just default into these other methods. And then
Yeah.
it's so easy to forget, oh yeah, hey, like I could just, reach out to someone as a real human being and be like, hey,
Mhm.
how are you doing?
Mhm.
Like, do you have a problem
Yeah,
I can
it's
solve?
novel.
Right? Right? So, if you guys want to learn more about this, so Caitlin, tell me about what's the ecstatic way?
Oh, yeah, our bigger organization? Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's fun.
'Cause, like, I want people to know okay, so, like, yeah, I got introduced to Caitlin. Okay, so this is shenanigans, just the entirety of mine and Caitlin's relationship here. So, I got introduced to Caitlin via one of my, like, OG doTERRA peoples. Like, OG, like,
Mhm.
back in the day. And while we both still love our oils, that is not what either one of us is doing. So it's really
Right.
interesting that we still have this connection, right?
Mhm.
And so she sent me info, I think it was actually on your 10K revenue accelerator, and I was like, "Yeah, dude, like, no, that was, like,
Way
it's
over it.
yesterday's news. Like, I'm over this 10K nonsense, like, whatever." And so I don't even remember how, but I
I
got
think she
your
sent
link.
you my virtual coaching sales
Yes,
website.
yes.
So and
So
you're like,
I
"Yes, I want a sales team."
yeah, I'm like, "Oh, what? You mean, like, I can just give you money and you're gonna magically create a sales team for me, and then I can just sit back and collect the bank. That's great.
Mhm.
Excellent." So, by the way, that is not at all what's been happening over here. Like
We can do that, but there's some preliminary steps that we need to get in place before we do
and
it.
it's been fantastic, like, and, what Caitlin's really good at is creating a community of people where, like, everybody I've met, we all have a way to connect with each other, whether it's
Mhm.
something that I can support them with or something they can support me with. So
Right.
and there's also just, like, everyone genuinely wants to help each other, right?
Mhm.
And even if it's just introducing them to their network or, a kind thing to say that day, right?
Mhm.
Everyone's been super rad, and, I've never met someone who does, like, this hybrid of life, business, like, mindset. I don't even know how to describe it. It's pretty rad.
Mm. Thanks. I appreciate that. Yeah. So some context for those of you guys who have no idea who I am. Yeah. So for the first like 12 years of entrepreneurship, what I've been doing is building and managing sales teams for people like Deepak Chopra. So big name coaches would bring me in to construct their sales systems for them. And so most of our time is spent working with $1 million level coaches who want to reach 10 million. So that's where our sweet spot is for the Ecstatic Business School and the work that we're doing to help people get onto much bigger stages, make much bigger impact and much bigger money. And the Ecstatic Way is really about creating an ecosystem, right? The ecosystem of doing life well, doing business well, right? Being personally happy and professionally fulfilled. Because I'm a mom, I've got 3 kids, I do my travel around the world, and I also am building a company, right? I want to be a whole person. I want to be seen by my community as being a whole person. There are going to be days when I've got a stomach bug. Yesterday, we were throwing up. One of my youngest was throwing up all day, right? if that had been on a work day, I need to be surrounded by people who've got my back and can give me grace. Right. And so I just was looking around, like I had seen what everybody else was doing in the coaching industry. And I was like, I want to create what I want to experience. How can I create a place where I am safe to be all of me? That I can be my woo woo spiritual self and my, I need to look at the spreadsheets. I need to analyze the numbers. I need like practical tips on how to grow my business self, right? How can I have both of those in one container? And so, yeah, Ecstatic Business School is where we want to help people to get either their first 10K, their first 100K, their first million, their first 10 million, right? That those 10X jumps, it's not just strategy. It's not just mindset. It's not just community. It's all of those pieces together and making sure that you are fully supported in every area of your life so that you can take this, your vision to the next level, whatever that next level looks like for you.
That's phenomenal because there's so much going on, right? Like
Mhm.
just uh 10 out of 10. So Caitlin, what are the different ways they can connect with you besides the 10K in 30 days? What else do we have going on?
Yeah. So if you are at a higher level and the 10K revenue accelerator is not your thing, you want to do a $10 million blueprint session. We have those available if you just want to see what would my company look like at the $10 million level and how could I get there easily and efficiently. So we can do that. We also just have our free Facebook group. If you want to just check in with us and hang out, we send out content on our semi-regular basis. Colleen is helping us to get better about that, and helping us in our nerdly world to be more intentional about creating spaces for you to come and engage with us. So, uh, kind of just you guys decide. I mean, just go to ecstaticway.com and figure out which of our systems is most aligned with you, whether it's the life coaching or the business coaching or one of our upcoming retreats. We do those every quarter around the world. So it really is just whatever you are looking for and whatever level of support you're looking for. It's likely that we have a place that you can land with us.
Oh, absolutely. It's
Mhm.
sorry, I've got like that neuro spicy brain, but this is one thing I'll tell you folks. Like it is such a joy working with Caitlin because there's
Mm.
that whole life aspect. Because
Mhm.
I've been growing new businesses for the better part of 2 decades, right?
Mhm.
Like first, I started out with, even before DoTerra I was a independent mobile communications. I had a startup company with some friends. Then I was
Mhm.
in doTERRA starting that up. Then there was a mermaid convention and the Mermaid Academy. And now with, tech support turned into Nerdly, I've been
Mhm.
in this like constant growth, like birthing phase for the majority
Yep.
of my time, which is exhausting. Like,
It
y'all, let
is.
me know in the comments, like, who here has been living in that like birthing a new business phase? Like,
Mhm.
comment birth if you're birthing a business baby with me, folks, right? Like, it's so real. Like, tell me it's
Or
not,
you want to. You've been gestating for a long time
right?
and you are ready to get this thing out in the world.
Right? I mean, you have been sitting
Um,
on something. If you've got the idea, if it's something
yes.
that you've been like, "I've been trying to do this," right?
Mhm.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. Like, that is
Yeah.
such a thing. And I will tell you, like, I see all these, like, inspirational things like, "Oh, an entrepreneur is someone who's willing to live their life like no one else is for so long so that they can achieve this other thing," and I'm like, "F you, dude. No, I don't wanna do that anymore. I've done
Yeah,
that.
the hustle and grind bro
No.
culture. Yeah. No,
No,
not
that's just
nothing
a
doing.
lie. That is not
Mhm.
real, alright?
Yeah.
Yes, there you alright, I'm gonna be honest. Yes, it is possible that if you sacrifice XYZ, you can hit here. But the other reality
Yes.
is, if you're an entrepreneur, guess what? You're not gonna be satisfied. You're not
Mhm.
gonna be like, "Oh, this is the thing," because by the time you get
Yes.
there, you're gonna realize, "Oh, well, there's also the other things that I didn't account for. Oh, well, there's this tech
Mhm.
stack cost, or there's this time investment, or I've got a
Yeah.
program I've gotta support." There's all these things that you're not necessarily accounting for that's not gonna hit you where you want it. So it's
Yeah,
really about, are you able to grow your business in a way that's actually growing your business and
right.
serving yourself? Whether it's
Yeah.
your soul, your mindset, your heart, like, are you living the life that aligns with the what you're pitching to your clients even,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I call it the horizon effect. Like as entrepreneurs, we tell ourselves, well, when we get to the horizon, whatever our goal is for ourselves, then I will be happy. Then I'll relax. Then I'll get to spend time
Mhm.
with my kids. Right. But the closer we get to that goal and that horizon, the further out it becomes. And we keep pushing our goals out and we tell ourselves, when I do this, then I'll be happy. If I do this, then I get to celebrate. And what I realized after doing that for over 10 years, I had the perfect dream life. I had my business, I had my publishing, I had my husband, I had my kids. We were actually traveling the world, and I was still like desperately, secretly unhappy. And I was like, huh, maybe I've been doing this wrong, right? I changed everything external that I could change. And it was only when I wanted, like, looked inward and realized, oh, I've been doing this wrong internally, that I went on this whole discovery. And it's part neuroscience and it's part spirituality, like ancient wisdom practices. And that's the ecstatic way. The ecstatic way is really living in alignment with truth. And you know you're in alignment with truth when you're filled with gratitude, love, and joy. And everything else, all of the suffering, is optional. You can choose to be in suffering, but you don't have to. So I say pain is inevitable, suffering is optional. So the ecstatic way is really, how are you choosing to live your life? And yes, do we want to grow to $10 million? Absolutely. Am I willing to sacrifice my current alignment? And I love that word that you just highlighted, current alignment, for that goal? No. So that alignment step isn't always comfortable. I think that's the thing that I want to highlight, is a lot of people are like, well, I just want my business to be easy and to feel good. And I'm like, we're not talking about that. That's like too much yin energy, feminine energy. And the other one is too much yang, too much masculine energy. Like we have the hustle culture over here, and the if it's not easy, I'm not going to do it culture over here. And what we're advocating is like this Taoist yin and yang principle, where we set a goal that is aligned with our mission and our vision and our core values. And then we push ourselves through the discomfort, right? You don't give birth without a little bit of pain, right? But we're staying in alignment with what is true to ourselves and our values and our mission. And we can do it from a place of love and gratitude and peace, even when we're stretching out of our comfort zones. So in the 10K accelerator, we will push you out of your comfort zone, right? I want you to give us permission to push you past where you have gone before, but in service to the people that you're serving. We are not going to push you to like get out there and make some cash and close all the deals. We are going to push you out there to get out there and love and serve people in a bigger way than you've ever loved and served them before in your life, so that you can be personally fulfilled and your bank account can be fulfilled, right? We want you to have personal joy and lots of money in the bank, right? This is possible. We can do both of these at the same time, guys.
Now, and on top of this, I'm totally gonna go left at Albuquerque because I can. Okay, so we talked about the accelerator, right? We
Mhm.
talked about Ecstatic Way. Um,
Yep.
and you guys, like, this is so real. Like, I'm just pulling up my profit well, and I'm like comfortably over a 10K monthly recurring revenue. And I will tell you that you would think, like, I would like, oh man, if I hit 10K months, I'll be like, that's the best thing ever. It's to be like the
Mhm.
bombdiggity.com. No, it doesn't feel that, right?
Mhm.
So, like, I want you to know, like, you need to make sure that as you're pushing yourself, that it's aligned with you. And yeah,
Mhm.
your journey might take you a little bit longer to get there.
Mhm.
At the same time, right? There's no shortcut that's gonna magically make it all work, right?
Mhm.
So What we got? Hustle feels like running the wrong direction in a marathon. Alignment feels so much better. Oh, I love
Yes.
that. I love
Mhm.
that. See,
Yeah,
see, this is what my people's they're here
we
they're
get
here
it.
with, right? And I'll tell you, like when you're growing with alignment, like it's totally different. Like, I was
Mhm.
so pressed about trying to have these sales in the DMs, right? And
Mhm.
have these sales calls and just like, because that's what I was used to.
Mhm.
And it wasn't really even long working with Caitlin. We realized, oh, actually, with Nerdly, there's so much involved. Like, they're not going to get it until like a week or two in after they've had their
Mhm.
hand held. They have to have all these things. So that's why we
Mhm.
pivoted to do the 10-day challenge. And
Right.
that is our sales model, right?
Mhm. Yep.
We need someone to come in and actually touch and feel the system. They need to feel
Yes.
the support. They need to know, oh, I'm going to try to do some really hard stuff, and this people here are going to help us be able to understand it. And it has shifted how we're able to deal with everything so much. So I gotta tell you, like 1,000%, even if you're not ready for the revenue accelerator to like that's going on right now, I
Mhm.
highly recommend that you connect with Caitlin. She's
Mhm.
got other programs and also like she runs these bomb retreats. Like we're going to Sedona in October. So here, you know what,
It's
let's
gonna be
let's
amazing.
tell me about that.
Yeah.
Like okay, so tell me about these fabulous retreats.
Okay, so I will just admit, like, I had seen other people selling retreats, and I was like, that's great for other people. I can't see how anybody would pay me to just come and do life with me. Like, yes, like I live a really great life, but why would somebody pay to do that? And then we did our first one. Lucas, bless his heart, kind of pushed me out of my own nest and was like, we're doing this. And it was magical. We got to eat really decadent paleo meals. We got to start every day with meditation and movement. We got to do hug therapy. We did drum circle. We did a sound bath in a pool of water with kind of like siren mermaids singing over us. We did a cacao ceremony, and we just did like really deep healing work, as well as like business planning and expansion and things like that. I mean, but we got to like play poker with each other and walk by the lake together and just being with people who get you, who see you, who love you deeply and intensely. Like I have not experienced that anywhere else. And so it has become one of my favorite things that we offer is just this time to get away from family or business or all the things that are distracting you and really do the deep and the high work, right? We're pushing in both directions. Your biggest vision and confronting your deepest shadows and fears at the same time so that you can go back and be the leader that you want to be for your company, for your family, for your community. Um, but just having a safe place for you to really be held while going through some pretty radical transformation experiences. We cut the peyote ceremony for this next one.
I'm not gonna
That
lie,
was also
I'm bummed. I'm bummed about that. I was like, let me
I
find
might be
out.
pushing
Let
it for
me
another
find
one.
out. Sign me up,
So
coach.
yes, we are doing it over Halloween because Lucas is a Gaia worshiper. I'm a Christ follower, and we're gonna do it over Samhain because that's when spiritual energy is flowing really strongly in the world, and so we're gonna be tapping into a lot of shadow work and really going deep on this upcoming retreat. Probably do a light focused retreat to counteract that in the spring. So we'll probably do darkness in the fall and light in the spring, and probably masculine and feminine energy in the summer and winter periods, because those are sort of the polarities that we work with in our work. So yeah, if you're more into the woo woo side and you want to kind of get out of your comfort zone on a spiritual and life side, our retreats are a really cool container for you guys to experiment with. Who am I when I am fully seen, completely safe, and totally unconditionally loved? So, yeah,
10
we
out of
love
10.
those.
10 out of 10.
Mhm.
It was
Yeah.
absolutely phenomenal. I was out with them at Lake Arrowhead, and I got to tell you, like this is what I love is that it's a balance of the woo woo and the business, and a lot of it
Mhm.
is really how do you and it was great because my husband came, Eric, and for all you
Mhm.
nerds who don't know, like he's not Mr. Woo Woo. We got a full on Dharma Greg situation going on over here. He is a computer developer. Like the most fun, like the most woo thing about him is that he helped build video games, and that's not woo at all. Like that is the closest to woo this man has gotten, right? And the amazing part is like having Caitlin and Lucas come in and back up what they're talking about, like theta and meditation, all these things with actual science, to
Mhm.
that have that like safe space to explore, um,
Yes.
was really phenomenal. So like this is
Mhm.
wildly not what we intended on talking about at this point, but this is what happens with the neurospicy brains. All of a sudden we're talking like, oh
Mm.
right, hey, this other really cool
This
thing
other
that
thing.
I'm like want to tell you everything all about real quick. So this next one's
Um,
in Sedona. So
yes.
if you want info on the retreats, comment retreat and we'll get you those deets. And I believe they're
Mhm.
for February, currently being noodled around Egypt.
Yes, we are gonna be in Egypt, so we're gonna bring y'all to us, and we're gonna do some connection work in Egypt.
And and
And then
if
I think in April we're looking at Lake Tahoe in California. So we'll kind of
ooh,
trade off domestic and international.
and
Is kind of our vision.
if y'all haven't like learned how to master the art of let me find this amazing trip that's also going to help my business and then write the whole thing off. It's pretty rad.
My husband and I literally bought a $25,000 mastermind just so we would have an excuse to go to retreats every quarter. We're like, we don't even care about the coaching. Like, our business may or may not grow, but we need to tell our families that we need babysitters to watch our kids so that we can have a business write off reason to just be our couple selves in a different place and work on our business together. So yeah, I fully bought into the idea that like, yep, nope, we are investing in vacations and we are writing it off on our taxes.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, if you guys want to
Um,
learn more, learn about the
yes.
accelerator, comment money. I mean, honestly, just
Yep.
if you want to get connected with Caitlin, just let
Yeah.
us know. We'll get you guys connected. She's in the group, so you can always shoot her a message.
I
And,
Yep. You can DM me, you can email me, Caitlin at ecstaticway.com. I do still check my own email box, so it's good.
for now.
Not very luckily, not very consistently at the moment, but we do. And I will say, Revenue Accelerator is starting here this Saturday, the 26th. We have our 3-hour kickoff call. And if you start late or you're watching this later and you're like, oh, I still want in, here's the thing. Whenever you join, you get lifetime access to the curriculum
Mhm.
and you will get 2 sprints. So even if it's, heaven forbid, you're watching this in October and you're like, I can't join the September one, we will do another one in March. But that doesn't mean you have to wait until March to get started. You can still join the program and start doing it on your own until the next sprint kicks off, but you will always get at least 2 sprints and you will always get lifetime access to the program. So it's
100%.
here for you when you're ready for it. Right now, it's the cheapest it will ever be. We've made it as affordable as possible. It's like 222 if you're doing the payment plan, 1500 if you're paying in full. I suspect that by the spring, when we do our March launch, we will be doubling that. It'll be a $3,000 program. So just as a heads up, if you do want to join, now is definitely the time to do that. It does include 12 live hours of coaching with me. So that's like $18,000 all by itself. And you will also have your squad leader who's meeting with you on a daily basis, and you will be supported in your own little Slack channel. So we will not let you fail. Like, we
I
are
love it.
100% committed to you making this the most profitable and confidence building, right? So what we heard from the first round was like, yeah, I made more money, but really I have more confidence. Like, I feel comfortable writing a Facebook post or offering my services. I'm not wanting to throw up every time I think about doing my marketing efforts. So I think that's really important to remind you guys is like the reason we do 2 sprints is that Some of you guys need a warm-up lap. Some of you guys need some mindset work before you can get into the actual strategic coaching. We don't want you to build your like tear yourselves down or beat yourselves up. We want you to know that this is a safe place. Even if you don't get to your 10K in the first 30 days, we got you. It's fine. Whatever small actions you take are the perfect action steps. And if you want to go bigger, you want to do 30,000, 50,000, all we need to do is restructure your offers. It actually doesn't really matter what you're selling or to whom. The strategy will stay the same. It's activating your warm network, leaning into referral partners, just using the people who are already in your circle and world. What does matter is your offers. So we are going to move you out of dollars per hour uh, concepts and move you into thinking of packages, selling results, helping you to think about your business model differently. And yeah, Cherie, she had never closed anybody. She'd been working on as a life and a health coach for years and owned her URL, had done all the right steps, but had never actually collected money. And so we got her first 3 clients, but more importantly, we built her the confidence that she knows how to go out and get more clients. And so she went from being a high school English teacher to now a full-time life and health coach. And I know.
Amazing.
And so, yeah, it really is a beautiful transition when you know how to make money for yourself. It changes everything. So that's really what this is about. I don't care if you make 10,000 or 30,000 during the challenge. Like the dollar number is less important than do you know how to go into the universe and turn air into cash? That is the skill that I want you to learn so that you never have this money mindset block, scarcity. I'm at the mercy of somebody else telling me how much I'm worth bullshit ever again. Like this is what this accelerator is really about.
Yeah. And I love knowing that like money really is the easiest thing to make, albeit sometimes it does take a lot of effort to that easiest thing to make still takes a lot of effort. So like let's well, yeah. So I'm so glad to have had you out today to be able to introduce folks to you. 10 out of 10 folks. Find a way to connect with her. You will definitely not regret it. It has been such a joy working with her, and there's so many different ways to connect with her, right? Like it's so fun. She's got options. So with that, I'll see y'all.
We're good.
I will not see y'all next week because I will be back.
You're at Burning Man.
Right. I'm going to Burning Man and I'm not going to die.
I cannot wait to see
it's going to be
photos.
high 80s, like in the desert. Like tell me the universe wanted the ginger.
Bring your electrolyte powders.
Oh man, I've got those, but like it's going to be hot, like highs of 80s. That is unheard of. Last year was 110 degrees. Tell me the universe didn't want me to go.
Oh, so this is going to be
this is comfy. Are you kidding me? This is chillaxing. I'm going to be so good.
I love it.
All right. Well, later nerds. See you next time.
Bye.